happy Thursday, everyone! It's your friend once again, Marianne from, of course, Paint That Town, Qatar. This live tutorial, of course, will be brought to you by us and our awesome partners, Entertainment World Village. How is everyone doing? Hi! I hope everyone is still keeping safe, keeping healthy, and of course, my favorite one, keeping happy. And as we all know, Phase 4 of Qatar, opening up of Qatar, is coming up September 1st. So I hope everyone is doing what is necessary to help speed up the process of Qatar opening up again. So yeah. Can you believe it? It's already Thursday. The days are flying by. So yeah, today we will be painting this painting right over here. Here you go. It's either a sunrise or a sunset in a desert land, which is very fitting because we are in Doha. We are in Qatar, and Qatar is a desert country. So there you go. And we will be showcasing our paint kit right over here, which comes in 7 colors. There you go. Comes in a red, yellow, blue, black, pink, white, and brown. And believe it or not, those are the only 7 colors you need to create this painting right over here. Before we start, I'm just going to run through the things that we will be using. So here I have a 30 by 40 canvas. Of course, our paint kit that comes in 7 colors. I will be using 3 brushes, a huge flat brush over here, a smaller flat brush, there you go, over here, and a detailing brush, which is a small round brush. Alright, there you go. And on the side, I will be needing water, which I have placed in a container like this. You can place your water in a plastic cup if that is more comfortable to you. I will also be needing some Kleenex or tissue paper, and that's for whenever we change paints, we dab excess water, excess paint, just to make sure that we don't make our canvas messy as we switch colors. And also I will be using a plastic plate for a palette. Okay? So, before we start, for those who are not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, there you go. If you type Paint the Town Qatar on YouTube search engine, you will be brought right to our channel. And don't just stop there. Press the subscribe button and also the bell button. Yes, I'm talking to you. And yep, press the bell button so that you're notified whenever we post new content, which is quite regular now, by the way. Even this tutorial will be posted there shortly afterwards. There you go. And if you're not already following us on Instagram, our handle is Paint Qatar. There you go. And if you like what we do, our tutorials and all of that, do share, do like, and comment. We appreciate everything that you do on our content. There you go. Also, we have our very own website, www.paintqatar.com. And if you go on there, you'll see all the DIY create kits that we have available to you. Also, all our painting kits. So if you go on there, you will see all of that. Okay? So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. So let's go for it. For those who don't have this paint kit, don't worry. Your colors are okay. You may not achieve the same exact colors you have over here in the painting, but you should achieve something very similar to it if you have colors that are very similar to these, okay? So basically we're using the primary colors red, yellow, and blue, black and white, and brown and pink. So As I go along, I will be telling you step by step the paint mixtures that we'll be doing, the techniques and everything. So don't you worry. And if you are following along, please let me know if I'm going too fast so that I can slow down, so that everyone is on the same page, all right? Let's start. So the first thing that we will be doing is we will line the horizon line over here, and then we will do our sunset or sunrise background. And then we'll go ahead and do the mountains in the background, and then this landscape over here. And then last will be our cactus silhouettes, right? So it may look hard to some, but trust me, it's easy as long as you follow me step by step by step, okay? There you go. So I'm just opening up my paint kit over here. For those who are joining us for the first time, do let us know. Give us a hi and a hello. If you're not feeling too shy, we'd like to acknowledge your presence personally. And for those who are joining us, once again, thank you guys for your time. Your online presence is very much appreciated. And yeah, there you go. I know you guys have a lot of things to do because it is the weekend, or the start of the weekend. So every second, every minute, every moment that you spend with us right now is very valuable to us. So let's go. Here's our 30 by 40 canvas. So we will be starting off with the yellow. This is the color that we will be using to line our horizon. Whoops, it's taking off the whole lid. Okay. So yellow, here we go. That should be enough. And the reason why we're using yellow to line our horizon is because yellow is an easy color to paint over once we start painting the background and everything else that goes on the canvas. Okay, so I'm using the big brush over here. Okay, so I'm just using the tip right now, and there you go, the tip, yellow paint. Alright, and I'm just going to eyeball where I want to place my horizon line. So I'm going to put it right here, okay? If you guys can see, there's my yellow paint right there on the canvas, and I'm just going to eyeball a straight line, somewhat a straight line, okay? I'm going to place it on my easel so that I have a better idea. There you go. Let's not forget, of course, the side of the canvas. The reason why I say this is because painting the sides as we go along gives us a more finished look to our painting once it's done. You can leave it blank, but as I said, if you want a more finished look, I'll just show you guys. When I painted this, I also painted the sides, and if you can see, also the top and also the bottom, it just has a very finished look to it. So as we go along, I will be painting all the sides of the canvas like so, okay? So now that we have our horizon line, we will mix the orange that we need for our sunrise or sunset. But since we already have our yellow over here, we're just gonna add a little bit of our red, okay? So the shade of orange is completely up to you. If you want it to be a little bit more red, a little bit more on the yellow side, it's completely up to you on how much red you add to that yellow. Okay, so I added a little bit of red to the yellow. By the way, red is a much more powerful color than yellow, so you really don't need to put that much red to make it an orange or a light orange or a dark orange. If you put too much red, then it will become less of an orange and more of a, what would you say, more of a red, okay? So here I have the orange that I want. There you go. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that mixture because I don't want my orange to be too thick. I want it to be a little runny, but not too runny, okay? Because we are doing our background. Alright, so here you go. I'm going to try and paint it close to the camera so you guys can see the details and everything that I'm doing. So now I'm just going to brush like so. And don't worry so much if your painting looks a little bit feathery on some parts. That's fine because we will be blending yellow and purple to those parts, okay? So I want to be kind of placing or painting this orange, what would you say? Not all across one area, but you want to be painting it like so, okay? So I'm going to place some down here as well. Again, I'm not forgetting the sides. Okay, there you go. Also here on the side over here. Okay. Then I'm going to add some orange up here as well. So it's completely up to you where you place the orange, but to be on the safe side, just follow wherever I'm placing the orange paint at the moment. Okay. Again, let's not forget the sides as well as we go along. Alright. I'm going to place some here. Okay. And now, I still have a little bit of orange on my palette, so I don't waste anything. I'm just going to make sure I clean that up and put all the orange on my canvas. Okay. And now, these gaps that I have over here, I'm going to fill with just yellow, okay? And up here, don't put any yellow up there because we will be putting the purple sky, if you guys can see over here. That's where we will be placing the purple. So leave that as is, and for the spaces over here, we're going to put yellow paint, okay? Still using our big flat brush. Just gonna grab some of that yellow over here. If you guys notice, I didn't wash my brush, and that's okay, because we are going to be blending the yellow with the orange. See? There you go. Okay. And I can see that my brush feels a little dry, so I'm just going to dip the tip of it in the water. And I'm going to work that space again. Okay. I'm going to work my yellow all the way to that horizon line that I determined in the beginning. There you go. Alright, and as you guys can see, there's this, I left this space here so I can place the yellow over there. Again, whenever my brush feels a little dry, I'm going to go ahead and dip it, not add, but dip it in water so that it's a little more runny, a little more smooth to work with. There you go. Okay. If anyone of you are following along and you feel that I'm going too fast, please let me know and I will slow down, of course. Okay. If you aren't following along, but is just curious because you like painting, if you have any questions about techniques or anything of the sort, ask ahead. And I'll try to help you out as much as I can, whatever your question may be. Okay? There you go. So I have a space over here that I'm going to fill with yellow. Go. I'm starting to really like that. Looks like a sunset or a sunrise yet? I think so. There we go. So I've run out of yellow, so I'm gonna go add some more on my palette. Okay, there you go. Yay! And again, I have a space over here that I want to fill with yellow, so I'm going to do just that. Yes. Okay, and as I said, as I go along, I don't want to neglect the sides of the canvas. Okay, and also the sides. Don't forget the sides. It's okay if you forget the sides. You can always go back in the end and paint the sides, but it will be a little bit harder because you might not necessarily have the exact paint colors that you used as you were painting. So it's easier to just paint the sides along while you're painting the surface of this part, you know what I mean? Alright, so I think I am happy with my orange and yellows over here. Okay, so I'm just dipping the tip of my brush in water and brushing that along some parts on the canvas where I feel that I want to blend more. While the paint is still drying, you can go ahead and continue blending. But once acrylic paint dries, there's no more blending, unless you put a new layer and blend that. But if you want to blend the same layer once it's dry, there's no more blending. Alright, so I'm happy with that. It's a lighter sunset than compared to this one. This is because I used less red and more yellow on this one, and that's fine. I guess this is just more of a later sunset, whereas this one is an earlier sunset. Alright, so now I'm going to wash my paintbrush as we are going to change colors. We will now create that light purple that you see here up top. Okay. Washing my brush, and this is where your tissue comes in handy. There you go. Dab, dab, dab. Okay. I'll grab my blue over here. So I won't need so much because the area I left over there on the canvas is not that big of an area, so I don't really want to waste paint. So I would say that much of blue is enough. And I'm getting our pink over here. Okay. There you go. Alright, so I'm mixing the blue and the pink, and of course, as expected, it's turning purple. Yay! So if you feel like that you mix too much of purple, don't worry because we will be using more purples over here. If you guys can see, there are 2 layers of mountains in the back that are the shade of purple. So if you feel that you've mixed too much of purple, that's okay. So now, I'm saying that because I feel I did. So now I'm going to grab a little bit of this dark purple here, and I'm just going to place it over here. And I'm going to add white to it to create a light purple. Alright. There you go. Yes, exactly what I want. So now I've achieved a light purple over here. And that's exactly what I want. Okay, so I'm just mixing. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water because I don't want that mixture to be too thick. There you go. Alright. So now, still using the big brush. There you go, I have my purple. I'm just going to place that right up here. Okay. And as you guys can see, my brush is a little dry, so I'm just going to dip the tip of my brush in water, and then it blends much nicer, okay? There you go. There you have it. So for those who are watching and wish they could join us at the moment, but you don't currently have your paints ready with you, that's okay, because we will be posting this video on our timeline right after we are done. So you can always go back to it and follow us at your convenience. And of course, the paints that I'm using right now are available on our website. So if you just go on to www.paintqatar.com, you can go ahead and purchase this paint kit that I'm currently working with. Okay. Here you go. So I'm just overlapping a bit of that purple with the orange or yellow that I have over there. Okay. Okay. And once I'm done with the front of the canvas, I will not forget to paint the sides as well. Okay. Again, whenever your brush feels a little bit dry, just go ahead and dip the tip of it in water, and that should be sufficient to make your make the application smooth again. There you go. now, I think I'm happy with that now. I'm going to, let me just add a little bit of purple down here on the side. Okay, now let's paint the sides and the top. Here we go. No blending required up here, just the purple by itself. There's my top done. And now just the sides to go. Oh wait, that side was already done. Just one side. Alright, so here you go. Ta-da! And there's my sunset just about done. I'm just going to place that on my easel while it dries. And while that's drying, if I put away my brush for a little while, I'm just going to dry it. And there you go. Before we go ahead, let's just take a quick break. We recently launched one of our newest products, and that is Paint by Numbers. I know a lot of you know what that is, but for those who don't know what Paint by Numbers is, it's right here behind me. Alright, so I currently, well not currently, but I started painting my own Paint by Numbers right over here. So basically what Paint by Numbers is exactly what it sounds like. You paint by numbers. Because if you look closely, the canvas has numbers. Each and every section of it has numbers, okay? There you go. And with the kit, so first of all, the kit comes with a 40 by 50 canvas. It's bigger than the canvas that we're working on at the moment. You guys will see. Let me show you. This is a 30 by 40. It's smaller in size compared to our Paint by Numbers over here. Oops. Our Paint by Numbers comes in 40 by 50 and it's framed. Some Paint by Numbers comes in rolls and it doesn't come with a frame, but our Paint by Numbers comes with a frame so that it's easier for you to paint on. Okay, there you go. So this is one of the designs that we have available on our website. I chose the Marilyn Monroe portrait, and so far so good. It is very therapeutic, personally speaking. So the canvas is framed and it comes with numbers, and of course it also comes with all the paint colors that you'll need with numbers as well. So every number 1 that you see on the canvas, you paint with this color. So every 17 that you see on the canvas, you paint with this color. And every 14 that you see on the canvas, you paint with this color, and so on. I guess you guys get the idea. So for every design that we have more than 30 designs. Yes! They all come in different colors. So this Marilyn Monroe set comes with these colors, but if you pick a different design, obviously the colors that will come with your kit are different to these, okay? The kit also comes with 3 fine brushes. You have a small flat brush over here, and you have 2 detailing brush actually. Let me show you guys. And I hope the camera is clear enough to show you the differences in the brush size. So here we are. We have the small flat brush over here for the areas that are quite big. And then you have a detailing brush over here. And another one which is even more smaller than the one I just showed you. There you go. I don't know if you can see the difference, but one is extremely tiny, this one. And if you purchase your own paint by numbers, you will see why you need a paintbrush with a paintbrush that tiny, because there are some numbers that are really small that you'll need that really tiny paintbrush for. And of course our kit also comes with hooks and screws so that you can hang your masterpiece once you are done. So to purchase your own paint by numbers, it's as easy as going onto our website www.paintqatar.com, and you can scroll and have a look at all the designs that we have for paint by numbers. Okay? Alright, so let us continue. Alright, so the next thing that we will be doing are the purple mountains. Right over here. So if you guys can notice, our mountains are in 3 layers. So we will start with a lighter purple in the back, and as we go lower, we go darker purple, and then this is black right up front, okay? So now we will be using our small flat brush. Okay. Okay, so since I still have some of that purple that I mixed earlier, I'm just gonna grab some of that and put it onto one side and add white to it, because I don't want my purple, the first layer of purple mountains, to be that dark. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of that and add white to it. Okay. There you go. Okay. If you feel that your purple mixture is too light, just grab a little bit more of that darker purple and add it onto that. Okay. Can add a little bit more darker purple. And now I'm going to add a little bit of water because I feel that the paint mixture that I created is too thick. There you go. And there's the light purple. I'm okay with that. I like that. Okay. So now I'm going to create mountain-like shapes, okay? So there's the peak of my first mountain. So again, I'm going to, I won't forget the sides as I go along. Okay. Okay. So if you guys will notice, I've placed the mountains a little high up because this line is where we want to be painting our black mountain silhouettes, okay? So right now I'm way up here because we have 3 layers of mountains. Alright? So don't go all the way down to the line that you created here. Okay, just like how I'm doing it. Okay. So the mountain peaks that I'm creating is completely random. So if you're following along, just do exactly the same, what feels right to you. You don't necessarily have to have the same mountain peaks as myself. Okay. For those who are following along, I know that the live is usually best fit for iPhones. The dimensions for iPhones, if you're watching live, is just perfect. But for some phones, sometimes the dimensions are not exactly fit. But I know that if you watch our live on your timeline view, you should be able to see everything. You know, I won't be cropped. Yeah. Alright. So I'm still doing my mountain silhouettes. Okay, this is the first layer of the mountain silhouettes. Okay. If you feel that your mountains are a little translucent or a little transparent, wait for the paint to dry, and you can always put a second layer on top, and that for sure will make them more opaque. Okay? So I'm just adding a second layer to some of the parts where I feel that is a little translucent. Okay. There you go. There's the first layer of our mountain silhouettes. So leave that there for a second. Okay. And now we will do our second layer of mountains over here, which is a darker purple. I'm just going to go ahead and use the purple that I already have on my palette. It's not yet dry, which is good. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water to this, and I should be ready to rock and roll. Okay. What is everyone's plans for the weekend? If you don't mind sharing, do let us know so we can have some sort of idea of what we could do during the weekend as well. Alright, there you go. Okay, so this was the color of my first layer of mountains. Now this will be the color of the second layer, which is a darker purple. Okay. So now I'm going to start the second layer, and we're going to put it on top of the first layer, but we don't want to place them exactly where we placed the first layer, so that we want, you know, some sort of overlapping here and there. Okay, like so, okay? So I'm not placing the second layer of mountains exactly where I placed the first layer, because obviously that would defeat the purpose of the layers. Okay. So again, whatever feels right to you guys, that's what you do. Again, you don't have to go all the way to the bottom, because that's for the last layer, which is the black part of the mountains. Again, if you guys are having a hard time seeing the full painting, it's probably because you're not an iPhone user and there are some dimensions issues. So to see the whole framing of the live tutorial, just go and watch us on your timeline view. If you guys have any questions, any comments, please just comment down below. And of course, I will get to them and answer anything. Well, not anything, of course, paint related, art related. Don't ask me anything about politics because I don't know very much about politics. Not because, well, because I try not to get too involved with politics. I personally think that there's a lot of, what do you say, dirty play when it comes to politics, so I try to just, I leave that to the politicians. Alright, so, I'm still painting the mountains. If you guys notice, I am leaving the lighter purple higher than the darker purple mountains. Okay? So if you guys feel that this tutorial is something that a friend of yours, a family member, or a relative would enjoy in their spare time during this coming week, do share the link with them, either right now or once the video is posted on our timeline. Alright? Again, I'm not neglecting the sides. I'm not forgetting about them, and I'm painting them as I go along. Second layer of mountains done. And now we're adding a new color, which is black. So I'm washing my brush because we will be changing colors now. Grabbing my black over here. Darth black. Okay. There you go, that should be enough black for the last layer of mountains. And still using our small flat brush over here. Hi, I feel you're going too fast for us, says Zahida Khan. Okay, I'll try to slow down. Do let me know which part you're on so that I know exactly how fast I should go from now onwards. Okay? Okay. So while we wait for our friend Zahida and her daughter, alright, I'll just go run through what we've done so far. Okay, so far we've done the skies and the 2 layers of mountains. Okay, so what we've done so far is that we've used yellow to outline our horizon. That was the first step that we did, and we placed it a little bit lower than the halfway mark. Okay, The next thing that we did is that we mixed, oops, 1 second. We mixed red and yellow to create an orange, okay? And what we did was that we used our big brush because we're working with the background, so it's really useful to use a bigger brush. Okay, so what we did is that we placed the orange in a horizontal way, but not all the way up. If you see that we brushed some here, we stopped halfway, and then we brushed along this way as well, and then that way and that way. And then the parts that we left untouched, we then used just yellow over here. And we filled it up. We filled those gaps with yellow, and as we went along, to create the more blended effect, we dipped the tip of our brush in water and just made sure that the orange somewhat blended with the yellow. Okay, and after we were done with the orange and the yellow, we went ahead and mixed our purple. So we mixed our purple by using blue and pink. These two over here. And to make the purple lighter, we added white. There you go. Okay. And then we were still using the big brush, and we placed the purple on this top part of your canvas. And of course, as we were going along, we didn't forget to paint the sides and the top as well. And since we were working with the purple up here, that's the same purple that we used for the first layer of the mountains, if you guys can see over here. Okay. And before we started adding white to the purple, we had this purple color over here, this shade, the darker shade. And that's what we used for these mountains over here. And when we painted the mountains, we tried to overlap the mountains. If you guys can see, the lighter mountains in the very back are still peeping. Parts of it are peeping on top of the darker mountains over here. So now the step that we will do are the black mountains over here, which is right up the front. So you have the lighter mountains at the back, darker, and then of course black on here. So that's what we are doing now. Okay? So using our small flat brush, we will now line, so wherever we place that yellow horizon line, that's where we want to, what would you say? That's where our black mountain silhouettes should stop. Okay? So I'm just going to start this side. Now this time with the black, I want to go all the way to that yellow horizon line that I created right at the beginning. If you guys will notice, the first two layers of the mountain, I didn't let it reach up to that horizon line. But now for the black, I want the black mountains to sit just right on the horizon line, okay? Oopsie. There you go. So the black mountains are the lowest mountains. There you go. Again, it's totally up to you where you place your mountains. I mean, like on the horizon line. It's up to you where your mountain peaks go. They can be high, they can be low. course, just be considerate of the mountain layers that you've painted before. Okay, you don't want to cover them with a black because that would defeat the purpose of you painting them in the first place. Okay, there you go. Okay. For our friend Zahida, please, if you don't mind, and if you're proud of the painting, once you're done, we would love to see your final piece. Alright? And we would love to share it on our social media platforms with your permission, of course. There you go. Okay, there you go. Okay. There you go. So if you feel that your black mountains need a little more space below, you can add just a tiny bit, you know, as you go along. Alright. I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to line the horizon line of where I want my black mountains to stop. Okay, there you go. So now I have a good idea of where I want to place my black mountains, or at least where I want them to stop. Okay. There you go. So we're more than halfway, the last layer of our mountains. Okay. Again, I'm just feeling what feels right to me. So I'm just creating mountain tops over here. And for the black layer, which is the last layer of the mountains, I'm just making sure that it's lower than the first two layers of mountains that we did earlier. Like so. Alright. There you go. Just carefully adding my black mountains, which is the last layer of mountains. There's no particular number of mountain peaks as we go along. I'm just adding mountain peaks like what feels right to me in the moment. Okay, there you go. I think it's starting to look really good. What do you guys think? Zahida, please let me know if you guys need more time to catch up. Alright, again, I'm not forgetting the sides of the canvas. Look how finished it feels. Look at that. So for Zahida, because I know she and her daughter are following along, I will put that on the side at the moment on my easel. Alright, so I'm washing my brush. So far what we've done is our sky. And also the 3 layers of mountains over here. That's what we've done so far. And for those following along, the next part that we will be doing is this part over here. So that's either a sunrise or a sunset. That's the trace of the sun. That's the evidence that the sun is there. It's either about to rise or it has just set. Okay? So basically that is just white paint that we will be using, and I'll show you exactly what kind of technique we'll be doing for that, okay? Alright, so my black is still drying, but this is what this replica looks so far. Okay. I really like what the mountains look like. There you go. Alright, so I'm just gonna go add some white paint to my palette. Okay. There you go. I only need a tiny bit of white because we are not painting a big section that requires the white. Okay, so we only need a tiny bit because we are only using the white over here. Okay? To determine that there was a sun, or there is a sun that's about to set, or there was a sun that just set. Okay? Again, I washed my small flat brush and I'm just removing the excess water and excess paint. Okay. Now I'm going to there you go. Now we have white ready. And I'm just going to eyeball where the middle part is. So for me, it's right around this area. So that's where I want to place my white paint. So the white paint, you want it to be a little runny. So when you do the white mixture, make sure that it's not too thick. It's a little runny, so you make sure that there's water, that your mixture is a little bit more on the runny side. Okay. Now I'm going to so I want to create like a roundish almost like a semicircle shape of where the sun is setting from, or where the sun is, what would you say, rising from, yeah, because it's either a sunrise or a sunset. So there you go. And now what I want to do, just using the tip of my brush, I'm just lightly brushing around like so. Very lightly brushing with the tips of my brush, and I'm kind of like, what would you call it, expanding outwards, but just very gently touching, brushing against, no, it's almost like no pressure, like it's like you're not pressing on the canvas, you're just letting the bristle of the paintbrush brush light gently on the canvas, like so. Okay. There's hardly any pressure at all when I'm doing this part. There you go. So first I create like a semicircle or a dome, and then I paint that dome white. But to start off, your white paint mixture shouldn't be thick. It should be a little bit on the runny side, but not too runny, otherwise once you put your white paint on the canvas, it might start to drip if it's too runny, if there's too much water in your mixture. So just make sure that it's not thick, but it's also not too runny, okay? And then you create a dome-like shape, and then you fill that in with your white. And as I was saying, you want to have a little bit of paint on the tip of your brush, just a little bit of paint on the tip of your brush. And as you want to, like, what would you say, like disperse around that area. And as you go out from your dome, you just want to be lightly brushing on your canvas, barely any pressure, okay? There you go. Okay, so there you have it. The sun part is done. The next part that we want to do is the desert land. So first we will start off the middle part right over here, which is a mixture of orange and brown. So orange will be yellow and red mixed, and then we're just going to create like almost like a V, like a V shape, like so, of orange, and then we will be adding the brown parts on the sides afterwards. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix myself some orange, and that's the mixture of red and yellow. This time I want it to be more on the red side. I mean on the red side, so I'll have more red than yellow. Okay. I'm gonna use the big brush or the small brush. Okay. I'm going to use our big brush this time, since we're painting quite a big space. Alright. Yellow. So if you're following along and your taste of music is not the same as mine, because right now what I have playing in the background is some reggae-fied top hits. If that's not your kind of music, do play your own music in the background as you follow me along. Also, if you prefer to have your favorite snacks on the side, your favorite beverage on the side while you're painting, do that. Do what feels most comfortable to you. Alright? red to this orange. I want it to be more on the red side. Okay, so this is the orange that I'm kind of aiming for, right over here. Okay, now I'm satisfied with that. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean when I said triangle earlier. So first, I'm going to estimate where the middle part, somewhere in the middle. You guys might tell me, yours is a little bit to the right. That's okay. There you go. So I'm going to start off right about here. And if you guys will see how I use the brush, I'm not using it like flat on. I'm using the tip. And I'm using it sideways like so. Okay? And as I get lower, I'm just making it a little bit wider, okay? Okay. There you go. As I'm going down, once again, I'm getting a little bit wider as I go down, okay? There you go. As I'm going down, I'm going wider. So I'm painting this in long strips, like so, horizontally. Okay. You guys see that? Okay. And as I reach the bottom of the canvas, that part should be at its widest. You know what I mean? We started narrow up top, and as we went down, we got wider and wider. And as we reach the bottom, it should be at its widest. So, okay? And now, of course, I'm not going to neglect the bottom part of the canvas, so I'm going to go ahead and paint that in orange, of course. Okay. Not all the way, just where we finished. Okay, you see that? Up, up, up. There you go. Yes, there you go. All right, so we have that part sorted. We are now going to do the brown sides over here. And thankfully our kit comes with a brown right over here. And because the brown that I have over here is just a tiny bit darker, we will add a tad bit of black to the brown, okay? Once again, I'm going to go ahead and wash my paintbrush. I hope Zahida, yourself and your daughter are catching up all right. Thank you for letting me know that I was going too fast earlier. I really appreciate that. Alright. There we go. As I was saying, now we will be using brown and a little bit of black just to make it darker. Okay? Not too much of black because just like red, red is a powerful color, so if you mix red with yellow, yellow is a weaker color, so if you want to make an orange, you don't need that much of red, and the same with a darker brown, you need more brown than black. Okay, So again, I'm using the big brush, and I still have some black here, so I'm just going to let the tip of my brush touch the black, and then I'll add that to my brown over here. Okay, and just a little bit of black. Your brown, if you guys can see it over here, has become significantly darker already. Okay, so what I would suggest when you're creating the darker brown, it's best to just, you know, grab a little bit, mix, and then if you feel that it's still too light and you want it darker, then grab a little bit more black and then put it to the mixture. Okay, because we want to, we don't want to waste paint, alright? So we want to be mindful of the mixing as well. So now I have a darker brown over here, but I want it to be a little bit more darker, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of black and then add that to the brown, and then mix. Mix it thoroughly before you decide whether you need to add more black or you're okay with it. Okay, now I'm fine with that brown. Now I'm just going to make sure that I thoroughly mix it before I apply it on the canvas. Okay. And I feel that it's a little thick. The consistency of the paint is a little thick, so I'm going to add some water to it. Okay. So just dipping the tip of my brush in the water and then adding that to my mixture. Alright. So now this dark brown, I want to fill these white parts over here with that dark brown, okay? So the same technique that we use for this, we're now going to use for the sides by using brown, okay? So just brushing it along the horizon line. Okay. You guys notice how I'm painting the dark brown parts, and just long strokes along the horizon line like that, and we're going down, okay? Again, if you feel that your brush is too dry, just dip the tip and then you're good to go again. Dip the tip in water and you're good to go again. Okay? Long strokes, and then you want to just overlap a little bit of the brown paint with the orange in the middle, just a little bit of overlap so you don't have white gaps. Let it overlap a little bit. Okay. Long horizontal lines, overlap just a tiny bit with the orange, and then again horizontal lines. Okay, we will do the sides, don't worry. Again, although my flat brush can be used like this, I'm using it this way. So like along the horizon line like this, not like this. Because this will give me a fat stroke, but I want to have a thin stroke, so I'm using it this way. Okay? Does that make sense? Alright. Just a little bit overlapping the orange. And it's completely fine if you have that kind of effect that some parts are darker, some parts are lighter. That's a really good, like, kind of natural effect, especially that we're doing a landscape. So that actually kind of creates depth. Alright, so again, the brown overlaps just a little bit on the orange part, like so. Okay. Now I'm going to paint the sides. Okay, and now for the sides I can use the brush this way around because we are just trying to cover it with some color. Okay. Okay, there you go. Now the bottom as well. Let's not forget the bottom. Okay, so for some parts I'm just going to overlap the brown with the orange a little bit more. Okay, for this I'm just lightly brushing with barely any paint on my brush. There you go. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same effect or same technique on this side. Okay, so let me just put that on the easel. I'm going to mix myself more of the dark brown because I've pretty much finished it. So again, brown paint. And I'm gonna add a little bit of black to it just to create a darker brown. Alright. And if I feel that it's a little too light and I want it darker, then I just grab a little bit more black. But again, whenever you're adding black to a color to make it darker, you want to be very careful because too much black can turn it black, like a really dark gray. And if that's not what you're going for, you don't want to do that. Okay. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more. Okay. Alright. Just mixing my dark brown at the moment. And again, I'm going to add a little bit of, now that I'm happy with the color, there you go, there's my dark brown. I'm going to add a little bit of water because it's a little thick. Okie dokie. So now, same technique as this one. We're going to start up top. I'm going to be using my brush like this and not like this. I want to be using the thinner side. Okay? Again, long strokes like so. And just a little bit of overlap whenever you reach the orange part. Just a little bit of overlap. far so good, and we are not far from finished, guys. Just a little bit more with our desert land here before the silhouettes of the cactus. Yay, we're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely. It's starting to look really nice. Okay. Again, just a little bit of overlap on the orange. So it's like a path in the desert. Little path. Okay, I have that little bit over there that I'm going to paint some more. And now that I'm done with the main part of the canvas, I'm going to go ahead and paint the bottom and the sides. Okay. There you go. Sides. And then the bottom as well. There you go. All right. So there you go. So since I have a little bit of brown left, I'm just going to add, I'm just going to try and finish off the brown on some parts of the sides, like that. Just gonna add some more paint on the canvas, just so that my brown over here doesn't dry out and it's wasted paint. So I'm just gonna add some brown here. Okay, and I'm also going to add some on this side. Okay. Alright, so let's refer back to this photo, this painting that we're referring to. If you guys will see here, there are some rock formations, rock silhouettes as well. So we're going to do that. And this is just some like light bushes. If you want to add that, I'll show you how to add that, but you don't have to. We can just stay with the rock formations here in the back of the cactus. Okay, so I'm going to first show that, and then I'll add the white or light bushes over here. To create the rock formations, of course, it's Let's add a little bit of brown again. So this time it is still a dark brown, but an even darker brown than the brown we used over here. Okay, so let me add quite a bit of black to the brown. My music paused. I'll be back. Oops. All right. Okay. There you go. This is a really dark brown. There you go. So there's more black in this mixture than the mixture before. And for this one, it's okay for it to be a little thick. I'm not going to add any water to this one. And I'm going to go ahead and start off on this side and add right up here on the front. Here, right here. Front and side, okay? Almost like the mountains that we did. So just like that. Here, see that? Again, don't forget the bottom. And then the side. Okay, so no blending required, it's just a solid color of that dark brown. And also on this side. For this side, I'm going to make the rocks a little bit higher than the other side. Okay, like so. And you let it go. Okay, so there you guys have it. Okay, what do you guys think? So far so good, right? There you go. Okay, so we're gonna add some light bushes. Okay, let me just wash the big brush. And now we will be using the small flat brush again. By the way, this is the last time that we use the the big brush. So after you wash it and dry it off, you can forget about it. Put it on the side and forget about it. Okay. Now we're going to use our small flat brush. And since I still have my white mixture over here, that's what I'm going to use for my bushes. Okay, I'll show you guys. What I mean by bushes is this part over here, which is behind the rocks that we just did. Okay. Oops. So the way that we're going to do this is by doing strokes this way, using the brush this way around and not like that, okay? This way up. And we're basically just going to create vertical lines going downwards like so in different heights. Okay? There you go. So what I think would be useful is to outline the rock so you're sure that you don't go past that line. Okay? This is what I mean. Okay. 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 So we have some really tall strokes going up and then more smaller ones. Okay. There we go. Again, I'm going to grab some more white. Don't worry, it doesn't need to be perfect. Most of it will be covered by your cactus silhouettes as your last detail, okay? So there's my white bushes. I'm gonna add a little bit on this side as well. But maybe only like in the middle part over here. So that's where I'll put the outline. And then I'm just going to work my way up like so. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, don't over my white top. Okay, anyways. There you go. And now for the last part, of course, we will be doing our cactuses. That's the last part. Okay. And for that, we will be using our small flat brush. But this time we're gonna wash it and then we're gonna use black. Okay? So far, this is what our painting looks like. Ta-da! Okay, and once we place the cactus and once we paint the cactus, believe me, it's going to come to life. Okay, so I still have black over here, so I'm gonna use that since I don't want to waste any paint. And if I should need more black, then that's when I add black. Okay. I'm going to start with this cactus over here. It's the biggest one, as you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to determine how tall my cactus is. So this is the tallest part. And then I'm just going to go straight down. So don't be scared, just go for it. Okay, and now I'm going to round off the top because that's my cactus, and then I'm going to go down. Now I'm going to use the width of the paintbrush. So the fatter side is what I'm using. There you go. Okay. Okay, there you go. I'm just gonna add cactus arm over here. Cactus arm right over there. And then that cactus arm has a baby arm. I'm gonna add it like so. Okay. So it's up to you where you want to add an arm to your cactus. Okay. There you go. Just like now that we started to paint the cactus, the whole painting is coming to life. Look at that. You're gonna be okay. Go. So once that we started to paint the silhouettes of the cactus, it just started to come to life, as you can see. Now the painting is all about the cactus, and everything else that we did prior to the cactus is merely a background. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna add a small arm over here. Cactus arm. Put the phone away. Alright, I think we can go ahead and make our other cactus plants. I need more black now. Okay, I'm just going to place my canvas over here for a little bit so I can see what I'm painting. Alright. Okay. I'm just doing a second layer on some parts because the black is a little translucent on some parts. So I'm going over those parts with a second layer now that the first layer is pretty much dry. now it's completely up to me where I put my other, let me just put away the paints because now I'm only working with the black. Okay. So I'll add one cactus here as well. Put one cactus right over here. In the sha-sha-la-la-la-lo. Again, never forgetting the sides or the bottom of the canvas. Okay, oops. Oh, it's looking so good. I'm really happy with that. Okay, so now I'm going to add a cactus over here and then maybe a couple over here. We're just about done. Just a couple more silhouettes of cactus plants and we're done with our desert scene painting. There you go. Really happy with that. That looks really good. There you go. It's a little translucent, this cactus over here, so I'm going to go back and do a second layer once it's fully dried. So while that is drying, I'll paint the next cactus on the side. I'm going to do a quite tall one over here, but not as tall as this tallest one. Okay. There you go. And then I'll give this one a baby arm over here. It's so cute. And I'll give this one a baby arm as well, but like a teenage arm. There you go. And then I think we can add a little one over here. Maybe similar to this one, just like two lines like that. Oops. Gee, thanks. Just bought it. Go. Alright, so I'm going to just do a second layer on the cactus that feels a little translucent. And there you have it! Your cactus landscape. The only thing left to do now is to add your signature or initials. And that is what we will be using our small detailing brush for our signature. Alright. So now I'm going to grab my small detailing brush. It's a small round brush like so. And I still have a tiny bit of white left. And a tiny little bit is all I need. Okay? And for this, I want that white to be a little runny so that I can do my initials quick and easy without having to worry about it being too dry or anything like that. Okay, so I want the small paintbrush to be fully covered with paint, but not too much. Okay, like so. Okay. And I'm just going to put my initial or signature on the right side. For me, the right side is here. For you watching and following along, your right side is here, okay? So you want to sign right over here. For me, it's here, okay? Because our broadcast is a mirrored version, okay? So again, you guys want to sign over here, but I will be signing here. And of course, after I put my initial right over there, I also will put the year, which is 2020, and of course, that is a memorable year for all of us. There we go, 2020. There you have it. And we are done. Alright. So now I'm just going to wash all my paint brushes before I put them away, because acrylic paint, once it dries, can ruin your paint brushes, and you don't want that. Okay? Alright. So now we have 2 cactus landscapes over here. There you go. Ta-da! Alright. So once again, let me just go through the paint kit that we used today. So it's the Paint a Town paint kit that comes in 7 colors. There's the primary colors red, yellow, and blue. And in additional to that, we also have the black, white, brown, and red, and pink, sorry. There you go. Those are the 7 colors that comes with the paint kit. And the paint kit also comes with 3 paint brushes. If you purchase the kit, it comes with a big flat brush, like so. It also comes with a smaller flat brush, and it comes with a detailing brush. It also comes with a palette, in a second, that looks like this. Okay, it comes with a palette like this, and it comes with a canvas, either a 40 by 50, which is this size, or it can come with a 30 by 40, which is this size. This one is a smaller one, this one is a bigger one. Alright? So yeah, if you are interested to get that acrylic paint kit, you can go onto our website, which is www.paintqatar.com. There you will not only see our paint kits, but you will also see other DIY create kits. Okay? And as I said earlier, we do now have paint by numbers, and as you can see over here, I started my own canvas, which is a portrait of Marilyn Monroe, and so far so good. For those who don't know what a paint by number is, if you look closely, the canvas is covered with numbers, and corresponding to those numbers are paints, like so, that are also numbered. Okay? So if you buy yourself a paint by numbers kit, it will come with a 40 by 50 canvas with numbers, and of course paints that are also numbered, and for every, let's say for every 21 that you see on the canvas, you paint it with this color, and that's how it goes. Alright, and I guess that's it from me. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope that you have a great Thursday evening, the rest of it, and even greater weekend ahead. Stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, unleash your creativity with Paint a Town Qatar. This was your friend, well, this is your friend Marianne from Paint a Town Qatar, of course, and this live tutorial was brought to you by us and our awesome partner, Entertainment World Village. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking your time. Your online presence is always appreciated. So yes, ciao for now. God bless.